Welcome to the world of Higurashi Chapter 8, Matsuribayashi. In this world, you will be able to recreate the story from Hanyuu's point of view. Your objective is to create the June 1983 ideal to you. You will need to collect many different fragments to make that possible. However, Takno's conviction is very strong. To overturn it, you will need a lot of effort and a lot of fragments. I'll warn you right now, it'll be a slow and painful process. And he went through it for over 100 years, and she even had to stop and give in to fate. Defeating Takano's conviction will not be easy. The trial in this world will put you through as much pain as Hanyuu had to endure. You may surrender just like Hanyuu did after being emotionally worn down by the constant repetition of the worlds woven by countless fragments. In other words, it's just like, you can say, fuck it, I can't be out of reading this shit. It's like, Takano wins. When you feel like surrendering, you can end this game at any time. But if you do, the world resolving around your friend's fate will be limited to Onikakushi from Higurashi. By forgetting about this world, not installing this product, you will finally accept death, just like Rika did. We're breaking the fourth wall. Your ideal June 1983 can be created by putting together 50. That's right, 50 fragments that are scattered all over this world. Yeah, you heard that right, man. This fucking arc is clusterfuck. To connect these fragments together, you will need the right ones. There are 50 of them, which may be dizzying. However, this world isn't that merciless. To ease your pain, there'll be a little help for you. When you choose the wrong pieces, your inner ally here will give you a sign that it's not yet time to put those fragments together. As long as the sign remains, you won't be able to connect them. You might as well go look for different ones. So really, this is the most interactive arc in the entire series. I mean, I don't know if the spin-offs novels have more interactivity than them, because I've not read them. But, what am I saying here? It's like, these aren't really visual novels, they're sound novels, but I call them visual novel anyway, because, it's even in the channel name, Blue Skull Dragon VN, standing for visual novel. So, yeah. Like, in one of the previous arcs, like, there was one thing where it's like, okay, here's a choice. It's like, okay, do you pick this or that? And it wasn't even, have any relevance to anything. It was just simply, do you pick this or that? It's like, oh, you take this and you got that. You take this, you got that. It's just like, pretty much just like, I don't even know how to describe it. It wasn't really significant or anything. It was just like, oh, an actual choice doesn't affect anything. If anything, it's probably there to pretty much point out that it's like, it doesn't matter what you choose, the result. It's just like, well, I don't know, because it's just like you went with that result. Now you can't go with the other result unless you reload and do that. But I don't know. I feel like the point of that was maybe it's like, you can't change it or something, but this one is all about changing it. This is all about putting the puzzle together, all 50 pieces. After you put all the fragments together, you might be able to connect the ones you couldn't put together earlier. It'd be hilarious if just get a jigsaw puzzle and that's the whole thing. It's like, that's kind of lame. When that happens, she'll let you know. Let's put those fragments together. Who will let me know? Hanyuu, I guess. Hanyuu just pops up on screen. He's like, well done. You've done it. Then you'll be able to join the others too. When you connect all 50, they'll become one big fragment. There you'll find your ideal June 1983. That's when the long-awaited Matsuribayashi will begin. I mean, I don't know. It feels a bit weird that they kind of went in this kind of direction where it's pretty much breaking the fourth wall, where it's like, okay, you, the reader, are now involved in, putting the pieces together as well. But, what do you think about it? It's like Hanyuu is the god of that world, so you can kind of look at it as like Hanyuu has that kind of, power. It's like, okay, let's bring you in, help us, form the things, but it's a bit confusing. Before you pick each fragment, why don't you line up all 50 of them first? Most of them require other fragments, so there are only a few you can actually look at. Let's try to find those first. To see the conditions for connecting fragments, just point the cursor at them. For anything else, let's find the ones you can look at without any conditions. So it'll be an extremely long and difficult trial. Let me tell you again, Hanyuu challenged this for over 100 years and gave up on it. It's like, this jigsaw puzzle sucks. It's 50 pieces. You wouldn't think it'd be so hard, man. But it's like this background right here, Just like, get rid of all that, just put it all purple. It's all confusing, man. It's hard to see. But, 50 pieces, that's like, if it was physically a jigsaw puzzle, But it's not actually a jigsaw puzzle. It's, we're gonna get to it very soon here. If you believe in miracles, in the same way your friends do, even if you don't live in the world where they live, if you believe in them. It kind of reminds me of, well, actually, I can't even say the name of the game because then I'd be spoiling the ending for it. But there is one game that kind of breaks the fourth wall. If that is like, the player actually, it's not really, but at the same time, it's like, yes, we are actually saving the day ourselves. But I don't know, I'm not really too fond of, when games and stories break the fourth wall, because it kind of be immersion breaking. It's like, it just feels kind of out of left field. But, if it's like done in a way that makes sense. I guess this partially makes sense. It's like Hanyuu's pretty much just like, I know, I'm not sure if it even really does make that much sense, to be honest. But it's not too, immersion breaking. It's kind of immersion breaking, but the previous arc established Hanyuu as, Oyashiro-sama, a god. So maybe reaching out to us and be like, help me out here. I don't know. It is a bit immersion breaking, to be honest. But, it depends how you do it. Welcome to Let's Play. Welcome to the world of Higurashi, Chapter 8, Matsuribayashi. I thought you already said that. In this world, you'll be tested to see if you believe in the world that Rick and Neil has believed in. A miracle only happens when everyone combines their strength. The June 1983, created by Takano Lee, Indomitable. She's yielded many people whose powers are beyond the average person to her side. Her back is being at the center of national authority. Even if 100 dice all rolled ones, there wouldn't even be a chance to defeat her. In other words, a miracle is the only way forward. A miracle happens only when everyone combines their strengths. And you are one of them. Are you ready for the next battle? I'm more than ready. The key to a long journey is not to pressure yourself too hard. Well, let's take it at a light pace. I'll work while drinking my usual wine. Wait. Usual wine? Is Rika then? Shall we begin? Now that I think about it, there is not to spoil it or anything, because I'm not fully sure either, and it doesn't really spoil much anyway to say it, really. But how you occasionally get those kind of poems at the start of each arc, and it'd be signed Frederica Burnsicle. I think maybe that has a connection here. It's like, I'll just sit here with my wine. It's like, okay, let's shit, I don't know. It's a bit of a clusterfuck. Shall we begin? We have all the time in this world. You have obtained new fragments. I guess the fragments are gonna be tips, or not. Connecting fragments. So we got, from 8 per page. 17, 18, 19, 20. Yeah, 50. We've got all 50 right from the get-go. So we gotta put all these fragments together. Oh, this is gonna be challenging. Because you have to go through the scenes to know what actually happens. Because it's not like we're putting a puzzle together. We're putting, you know, the ideal scenario. We're trying to set the ideal scenario for them to overcome their, you know, their fates of, you know, having to deal with Takano's bullshit. So you need to, you know, put it in the correct order. So I guess we gotta probably go from the start. But at the same time, this is the start right here. And it feels like... I don't know. What a puzzling scenario. It definitely feels like this is the start, the one all the way at the end is the end. But that's not necessarily the order that you put it in. It's like you gotta read, so you gotta go through each scenario first to get an idea of where to put everything. C-103 does experience signed Hojo's detailed test results is required. Kosuke, your decision is required. Page 170. The disconnection of Sadako's dissection plan is required. Your skin area's metal to become a doctor is required. Okay, I guess we've got to actually. What happens if I try to click on it? This fragment can't be connected yet. Yeah, I thought so. You've got to. Damn! You gotta have the required ones first. It's like Sadako's aunt has to die for that. Research is right. I mean, this is an interesting way to do it. You know what would be cool is if they did like an arc that was pretty much just this. I mean, this is just this. But you know, like having a different way, because this is leading up to like putting the ideal scenario. That's the thing. But how cool would it be if like you were given like 50 like this or even more fragments and you just put them together in whatever order you want and get your own unique story and conclusion? That'd be cool. This fragment is required first, so that's what we can do. So yeah, this is gonna be a long one. The death of Koizumi. I guess he eventually, well, I mean he was old, so he's gonna die eventually there. It's like, this is spoiling, man. Yeah, I feel like these ones probably... But at the same time, it's like, okay, Yosuke Irie, Jiro Tokatake. It doesn't really specify what the scene leads to. It's like these scenes probably aren't like in a correct order. These are scenes that will be like from different points in time, so they're not like, if you had one after the other, that's probably not the order that you gotta go in. But like it says there, like Yosuke's Irie, his reminiscence is required. Maybe we get him reminisce about something here, thus unlocking this. Or maybe it's titled somewhere around here, I don't know. So like I should just click on one of them, you know, but I'm kind of just like having a little nose around. Okay, Satoshi Hojo is available. As is a local explanatory meeting. Sadako Hojo is available. How interesting. The game board must be set up for these. Ah, it's because it's like the answer arcs to each of them. Yeah, that makes sense. 7 fragments are required. This is all very interesting. Let's actually go with a local explanatory meeting first. Probably not the correct order. This is going to be a really confusing arc. It's like, we got all that backstory. I mean, think about it. The pacing was odd even for the backstory. But that was relatively straightforward compared to this, because we're going to be seeing scenes out of order, and it's going to be confusing as fuck. How the fuck am I gonna title parts now, like? So the dam construction will bring in new jobs and revitalize the local industry. That's not what we're saying! Who the hell you have permission to build a dam here? You squeeze tax money from us, and this is what we get in return. Who do you think pays your salaries, huh? Look, we're trying to explain to you. We don't want to hear your excuses. We want to know when you'll stop the construction. You're useless. Bring the Minister of Construction here. He'll get to the bottom of it. Shut up, you yuppie! Hey, you're paying with our tax money, so why the hell are you talking down to us from up there? Come down here and let's speak face to face. I can imagine. I mean, I assume she might even be there herself. Because it would make sense for, the 3 families, you know. The Furudes, the, what was his name? Kimiyoshi? Was that his first name or last name? But, you know, that guy's family. And then you got the Sonozaki family. And I imagine the Sonozaki family are probably going to be the most outwardly hostile when it comes to this, because, well, obviously, we know the backstory. The auditorium is filled with angry shouting, and nobody knows who the fuck is who. Sign at the entrance says, Hinamizawa Dam Construction Explanatory Meeting. I imagine this is possibly going to lead to, more insight, maybe, into Rika's parents and how they were, like, particularly her father was kind of not quite as aggressive as a leader as the other villagers wanted, which in turn led to the Sonozakis, becoming more dominant. Every time the official on the stage tried to say anything, the citizens back to their rooms silenced him with their shouts. Probably half the village is there. I mean, can't blame them. I mean, the whole dam construction is pretty much, would have their village destroyed and have them relocated. Trying to ignore them, the official continued to explain the pros of the dam, but that just further infuriated them. It's like you could use a freaking character portrait here and there. It's like, whose perspective are we even seeing this from? I mean, maybe it's Hanyuu's perspective. I mean, Hanyuu did appear on screen when hovering over the fragment, but that doesn't necessarily mean much, because if anything that means that it's not from her perspective, because she would have to appear on screen, and that would mean it wouldn't be from her perspective. It's all a bit confusing. I mean, it could just be from our perspective. I mean, we're the ones putting the, just like, this is my perspective, okay? It's like, this is the point of view of the reader. Just like putting together the puzzle. I don't know. Between the stage and the citizens, there was an open area where a police squad is standing by. If they weren't there, the citizens would jump onto the stage and start a riot. I'm watching all this from the back of the auditorium. Okay, it definitely is Hanyuu's perspective. Even though she's appeared on screen here, it's gotta be her perspective because she popped up when it said this. It's obvious to anyone that they're being swallowed by their anger. They become filled with bloody red rage. The anger that came from a certain purpose becomes a purpose in itself, and it creates a vicious cycle where anger leads to more anger. Now, I like to think that we just kind of sat there at the back with Hanyuu just observing all this chaos. It's like, yeah, it's a bit of a shit, isn't it? It's like, and he's like, who the fuck are you? Who the fuck am I? You were the one who brought me, or maybe it's someone else, but anyway, I'm here to help out. Anger is a necessary emotion for humans. People who face many difficulties in their lives. Anger gives them the motivation to fight and conquer such difficulties. Therefore, anger is an essential part of life itself. So we'll never reject anger itself. However, anger like this that goes far beyond normal makes people forget their purpose. It's no longer an essential part of life. As the blood rushes to their head, a person can't even remember what they've done. They go out of control. Such emotions are very painful, sad, and difficult to endure. I can clearly see the villagers who live alongside us turning into demons. I understand the rules of the human world. The power of an individual can't be compared to the power of the government. To be able to fight, an individual needs to be part of a larger unified power. But to steer that unified power in the right direction is extremely difficult. The cycle of anger leads to more anger. Not anger that helps you live, but anger that exists only for anger. It's just like being a demon. And this emotion is capable of violently rousing us from our long, peaceful slumber. Everyone is immersed in their own anger. We lived peacefully with the villagers while we slept quietly. Yet now we've awakened, and it's like the world is trying to return to that age when demons were said to rise from Hanyuu Swamp. It's referring to it as we, implying more than one person. But this is Hanyuu's perspective. Are we also there? And they're just like referring to us. It's like, oh yeah, any of the readers that read the novel, you are also involved here somehow. I keep shouting at everyone to get them to calm down, but my voice can't reach them because of the vicious cycle of anger. Even so, I'll continue shouting, hoping even one of them will hear my voice. Because if I don't do anything, the demons may awaken. I mean, that's the thing. That's the trouble with Hanyuu, is she obviously wants to change fate, but because nobody can see her, she can't do anything. And the thing is, the people who can, sense her presence are usually, reaching a state of Hanyuu syndrome where their paranoia is starting to get to a peak where it's getting dangerous. So, hearing her yelling and making noise just enhances it and makes it worse. So it must be incredibly frustrating for her. So if you want to do anything, demons may return. So don't do anything. And demons that went into a deep sleep may reawaken because of this commotion. So, the demons, the parasites? Are they even... Is the syndrome even caused by parasites? I mean, what even is it? It's like, well, we'll find out in this arc, obviously. I forget how it actually played out with all this myself, so I can't even spoil it, really, because I don't remember it all that well. But seems like Hanyuu is like, trying to keep everything under control. It's like, no, guys, don't do it, man. You're just gonna... The syndrome will kick in and it'll be bad. And all of a sudden the atmosphere changed. Looking up, I saw that the angry exchange between villagers and those on the podium had developed into confrontation between the villagers themselves. What's going on? Shut up! Those are your reasons, not ours. Don't pull us into this, you old hag. Who the hell cares? The hell you say, you bastard? Hey, do you know who you're talking to? This is Oreo-san. You got some nerve, huh? Who the hell you think you are? Oh. I knew she was there. Shut up! Sorry, so what? I'm a Hojo. Get your goons away from me. Of course, there's also Sadoka's parents. They were against, the whole thing. Well, they were against, how the other villagers reacted. They were just like, you know what, let's just take the money and go. Who gives a fuck? And they're just like, it's our freaking village. So they were, This perfectly makes sense now. He talked shit. He didn't only, go against them. didn't join them, you know, accepted, just like, okay, we're gonna leave, take the money. We don't care about the village. Not only that, but they also said this shit to her face. It's no wonder why Oreo holds such a grudge against the Hojos. It's like, you dare challenge me like that? Hey Hojo, how dare you say that you want the village to be submerged? How much are they paying you? Shut up, you old geezer. Listen, there are plenty of poor people in Imzan. Maybe it was Oreo there. I don't know. It's probably just one of the other people, though. Not everyone's rich and has fields all over the mountains like you do. I'm satisfied with a compensation from the government. They've been even offered to provide us with public housing. But you're ruining everything, you assholes. Don't pretend you're the same as us. You want to fight with the government, why don't you fight by yourself? And who's going to pay? You. I'm poor and have 2 kids at home. I was planning to start a new life by leaving here in peace after getting compensation from the government and finding a job elsewhere. Since when did you represent me, huh? Do you think you're that important or what? Hey, Hojo, how dare you betray us? And get out of this village. Sure, I'll be happy to. You're gonna pay what I'm entitled to, right? You're gonna pay me every yen of the compensation I was going to get from the government. Even if I want to leave the village, I don't have the money. If you're gonna pay me, I'll leave straight away. Maybe that was the person at the, what was it? The podium. Hojo's right, there are plenty of residents who are willing to leave. You three families shouldn't drag us into this. The hell is this? Who just spoke? Come on, who was it? If you want to stay, then stay. We have the right to leave, so don't interfere. That's right, back the hell off, you damn Sonozaki hag. Of course we'll compensate the people who support the dam conversion plan. We most certainly will not steal the land from you. Shut up, government dog! Are you trying to divide the village? Die, Hojo, you don't deserve to breathe the village air. Hold your breath and suffocate to death. Screw you, old hag. I'll burn your ass. Stand up front, you damn hag. Hey, stay out of this, you fat pig. Damn. Very good. That was very good, Hojo. I haven't been this pissed off in so long. You'll get what you deserve. Look forward to it. Ominous words, especially considering, you know, they eventually died. Get him, Hojo. The government has to provide us new jobs, shelter, and compensation. Hey, who the fuck's even talking? Stop this violence. All of you, stop it. Like hell, bring it on. Come and get some. Everyone is being tainted with the bloody red anger. I can only watch. The least I can do is to apologize for the tragedy that is about to happen. I mean, that happens in, just like, really, these fragments are going to spoil the plot, so I might as well spoil it myself. But Onikakushi, I've mentioned this before, and it was, you know, it was referenced in one of the other arcs. I think to Higurashi, I can't remember the name. It was the arc before Minagoroshi. And in Onikakushi, like right at the start, it started with Keiichi on a train or something like that, and you could hear someone constantly apologizing. It was clearly Hanyuu, now that we've got this context. Because that's what she does. She can't do anything else, so she apologizes. Trouble is, her apologizing kind of makes things worse when they're just like, where the fuck's that voice coming from, comes into play. I'm sorry. This is how things started. From this day onward, the Hojo family and the Sonozaki family will wage a feud against each other. The Hojo family will become orchestras within the village. This marks the beginning of Satoko and Satoshi's lives of tremendous hardship. Okay. So, what were the other ones?